My beloved child, stop exactly where you are. Do not move your finger to scroll past this urgent message. I am standing inside your room right now. You think you found this moment by pure accident. You probably believe a random algorithm simply placed this video on your screen tonight. But that is a complete lie manufactured by the enemy. Heaven has literally bent the rules of time and space because you desperately needed to hear my voice today. This is a divine appointment made just for you. Breathe slowly now, because you are completely safe in this quiet space with me. Please look closely around your room right now. The walls feel incredibly heavy and closing in tonight. The silence in this dark house is deafening. I know exactly how your physical body is sitting in this exact second. Your shoulders are tight, and your jaw is firmly clenched together. You have been carrying far too much weight in your fragile human body, and every single day you put on a brave face for the outside world while your spirit feels completely crushed and broken inside. I clearly see all of your hidden pain. I see the invisible heavy armor you wear every day. You honestly thought you were completely alone in this battle. You thought no one saw you crying those bitter tears late at night when everyone else in the house was fast asleep. You stared blankly at the ceiling. You worried endlessly about your future and calculated how you would survive another painful week. The terrible anxiety gripped your chest like a cold hand. You swallowed your tears quickly so no one would ever hear your spirit break. But I was sitting right there on the very edge of your bed the entire time. I counted every single tear that fell from your eyes. I felt the exact agonizing pressure in your heavy chest. You are so incredibly tired of always being the strong one. People always come running to you whenever they need help. They take your valuable energy and they slowly drain your precious spirit. But when you desperately need a shoulder to cry on, the room is completely empty. The phone remains silent when you need someone to comfort you. You feel completely abandoned by the very people you love and protect. You give pieces of your soul to everyone until there is absolutely nothing left for yourself. And then you wonder why heaven seems so quiet when you beg for a financial breakthrough. But heaven is not turning away from your pain. Listen very closely to my voice right now. Drop those heavy shoulders and unclench your tight jaw. Take one deep breath and let the stale air leave your tired lungs. I am speaking directly into your exhausted and wounded spirit. Do not let the enemy distract your mind away from this sacred moment. The thick fog you feel in your mind right now is not your personal failure. It is the deep physiological pressure of surviving a very long and brutal spiritual winter. You have survived on tiny scraps of hope for far too long, and your nervous system is finally demanding a rest. The dark isolation in your room is not a heavenly punishment. The quietness echoing around you is absolutely not a sign of my divine anger. You have believed a terrible lie planted by the dark forces. You genuinely thought your desperate prayers were just bouncing off the bedroom ceiling. You felt like a forgotten child standing out in the cold rain. The enemy constantly whispered that you are never going to be worthy of the massive blessing you asked for. That is exactly why you feel this intense physical pressure behind your tired eyes. That is why your body physically aches, even when you have not moved all day. I am standing here to tell you the absolute truth. I stepped into your quiet room tonight specifically to break that toxic cycle. The invisible spiritual warfare against your fragile mind has been extremely severe lately. The dark forces want you to stay isolated in this depressing room forever. They desperately want you to drown slowly in your own quiet and unspoken sorrow. But they made a massive and fatal mistake when they decided to attack your finances. They completely forgot that you are a chosen vessel with a royal bloodline. Your current season of pain is certainly not the final chapter of your story. I saw you. I saw you sitting there in the dark when the heavy silence filled your small room. You thought nobody was watching you struggle with those overwhelming thoughts. But I saw the way your hands trembled slightly. You tried so hard to keep your breathing steady and quiet, and the heavy burden on your weary shoulders felt like a physical mountain pressing down on you. I saw every tear you tried to hide. I saw you quickly wipe your eyes before anyone else could walk into the room. You put on a brave and happy face for your family, but inside your mind, you were screaming for someone to just understand your pain. You just wanted one person to hold you and say that everything will be okay. But the room stayed completely empty. I saw you looking at those bills. I saw the pure panic wash over your face as you calculated the numbers again. You work so incredibly hard to provide for the people around you, and yet you always feel like you are falling further behind every single month. It is a suffocating feeling that traps you in a cycle of constant worry. You feel totally exhausted in your bones. I felt the intense ache in your physical body. The stress has literally settled into the muscles of your neck and your lower back. You toss and turn in your bed for hours before sleep finally comes. And even when you sleep, your mind continues to race with endless problems to solve. You wake up feeling just as tired as when you closed your heavy eyes. I heard the silent prayers you whispered into your pillow. You asked me why this heavy season is lasting so incredibly long. You are the tired caregiver who constantly pours from an empty cup. You desperately try to fix everyone else, but no one ever checks to see if you are breaking. It hurts so much to be the strong one all the time. You just want to rest. I saw you swallow your frustration. I saw you bite your tongue when you were misunderstood by the people you love the most. You felt a burning desire to explain your true intentions, but you chose to stay completely quiet to avoid another useless argument. That holy silence cost you a tremendous amount of emotional energy. Your heart felt heavy with unfair judgment. Listen closely to me right now. Do not let your mind wander away from this specific moment. I need you to understand that your pain is deeply validated in heaven, and every single tear has been collected. You are not going crazy, and your feelings are completely justified. The extreme isolation you feel is a very real physical sensation. You must stop carrying this toxic guilt. I saw you staring into the dark corner of your room. I saw the fear of the future paralyzing your thoughts. You wonder if you missed your chance at true happiness. You genuinely believe that your best days are permanently behind you. The enemy loves to whisper those cruel lies into your mind when you are most vulnerable. But I am here to expose that dark illusion today. I saw the exact moment you wanted to give up. You sat on the floor and felt like you could not take another step forward. The spiritual weight of your calling felt like a curse instead of a beautiful blessing. You questioned if I was even listening to your desperate cries for help. You felt so incredibly foolish for having faith, but your faith is not broken. I saw you gather your strength again. I saw you stand up and wipe your face even when your spirit was shattered. That resilience is exactly why you are the chosen one. You possess a rare strength that terrifies the dark forces surrounding you. They want to keep you depressed in this dark room, but I am handing you the key to walk out of this prison. Let me speak directly to your weary soul. Let this deep truth penetrate the heavy fog in your tired mind. You have paid a massive price in the spiritual realm. The painful waiting season has extracted a heavy toll on your physical body, but you are finally reaching the beautiful end of this silent suffering. The darkest part of the night is officially over. I need you to understand something completely clear right now. You carry a heavy bag of toxic guilt that does not belong to you. You sit in your room and blame yourself for every single thing that goes wrong. And you honestly believe your lack of faith is causing this terrible delay in your life. But that is a complete lie manufactured by the dark forces. You beat yourself up over every tiny mistake you make. You feel anxious in your home, and you quickly think you are failing heaven. When your heart races for absolutely no reason, you label yourself as weak. Do not do that to yourself anymore. Your physical exhaustion is not a sign of spiritual failure or divine punishment. It is something much deeper. Let me reveal the unseen architecture of this exact moment. The strange heaviness in your chest is a direct spiritual attack. It is highly calculated warfare against your precious mind. The enemy did not fill your room with anxiety because you are a weak person. He targeted your quiet space because he is absolutely terrified of the massive destiny placed on your life. He knows exactly what happens when you finally step into your true power. He watches you pray and he trembles at your royal bloodline, so he sends invisible waves of depression to keep you locked inside your bedroom. He desperately wants you to believe you are losing your mind. He wants you to give up right before your greatest blessing actually arrives. Hold on to that thought and do not let it slip away. Your current struggle is concrete proof of your massive value. You are a chosen spiritual warrior standing on the front lines of a generational battle. The dark entities attack the strongest soldiers right before a major victory. They are trying to break your incredible spirit before heaven opens the financial floodgates. You must stop standing at the altar like a beggar, asking for crumbs of peace. You must stop apologizing for feeling tired after fighting invisible demons all day long. The deep brain fog you experience is the physiological weight of resisting dark forces. Your physical vessel is taking heavy hits to protect the holy inheritance waiting just around the corner. Breathe out that heavy and toxic shame right now. Your unanswered prayers were never a rejection of your fragile heart. The silence in your room is absolutely not an abandonment. I am aggressively clearing out the hidden traps that the enemy laid around your future path. The painful delay you feel in this room was never a punishment. The delay is my fierce protection. You are breaking cycles of poverty that have choked your family for many decades. That kind of massive spiritual work requires a tremendous amount of energy. The sudden urge you feel to just cry and sleep is your body demanding recovery. It is a holy compression happening inside your nervous system. You are being completely rewired for the magnificent arrival season. Do not let the enemy convince you that your restless nights are useless. Every single time you wake up with a heavy heart, you are actually sensing the shift in the atmosphere. Your spiritual intuition is incredibly sharp and sensitive. You feel the frantic movements of the dark forces because they know their time is up. They are packing their bags to leave your house. You are the rightful heir to a massive kingdom, and the enemy always fights the hardest when the legal transfer of wealth is about to happen. They want you distracted by self-doubt so you drop the keys to your new reality. But I am giving you the profound clarity to see through their cheap tricks today. Your lonely room is actually a sacred training ground. I need you to completely release the false idea that you are broken. Unclench your hands and let go of that exhausting need to fix yourself. You do not need to be perfectly positive all the time to receive my grace. I do not need your perfect performance. I only need your holy proximity. You are completely safe while this fierce battle rages outside your door. Let the intensity settle for a moment right now. Put your hand over your chest if you can. Breathe once. I want to speak gently to the physical vessel that carries your heavy spirit. You are so incredibly tired. The long waiting season has completely drained the physical energy from your bones, and you feel a deep ache in your limbs that sleep cannot fix. Lately, you have been waking up with a thick fog in your mind. You forget simple things and lose your train of thought in the middle of sentences. You stare at your phone screen for hours without actually seeing anything, while the mental exhaustion completely overwhelms your weary brain. You feel like you are walking through deep water every single day. I see the quiet frustration building up inside your tired head. You wonder if you are losing your sharp edge. You think your memory is failing because you are getting weak, but you are absolutely not losing your mind. That heavy brain fog is the physiological weight of carrying a massive spiritual calling in a fragile human body. Your nervous system is simply overloaded. Waiting for a miracle requires a tremendous amount of physical calories. You have been holding your breath for months, hoping for a sudden breakthrough, and that constant anticipation keeps your body in a state of high alert. Your muscles are braced for bad news, even when nothing is happening. It takes a massive toll on your physical heart. You just want to finally exhale. Some days you just want to pull the covers over your head and hide. You want to sleep for a week and forget about all the heavy responsibilities, but you feel guilty for lacking the motivation to chase your big dreams right now. Heaven completely understands your deep fatigue. You are not lazy. You are surviving a massive energetic shift in the unseen realm. Your beautiful spirit is ready to receive the massive blessing, but your physical body is lagging behind because it has endured too much stress. The two hemispheres of your brain are struggling to communicate under the intense pressure of waiting. That is exactly why you feel so disconnected from your own life. You are watching yourself go through the daily motions. The tears come so easily now for absolutely no logical reason. You cry in the shower where the sound of the water hides your weeping. You cry in your car before walking into the house with a fake smile, because those tears are a release valve for a nervous system that cannot handle any more pressure. I honor every single drop that falls from your tired face. You must stop forcing yourself to operate at full speed. A pregnant woman does not run a marathon right before giving birth, and you are carrying a massive prophetic destiny that is about to be born. Your current exhaustion is actually the most accurate sign of your approaching harvest. Your body is forcefully slowing you down to protect the final delivery. Let go of the heavy need to constantly sustain your own faith. You have been white-knuckling your belief for far too long. You think if you drop your guard for 1 second, the miracle will disappear, but my promises do not depend on your daily performance. You can safely fall apart in my arms tonight. The blessing is already secured in your name. Pause briefly right where you are and linger in this quiet space. Feel the heavy armor slowly falling off your tired back. You do not have to figure out tomorrow right now, and you absolutely do not have to solve the massive financial puzzle tonight. Just allow your physical body to exist without the heavy burden of fixing everything. I am holding the foundation steady for you. The fog will eventually lift from your weary mind. The sharp clarity you used to have will return to you multiplied, but right now, heaven is asking you to surrender to the rest. The extreme fatigue you feel is a holy boundary keeping you safe from premature moves. Lean completely into this gentle pause. You are recovering for the greatest chapter of your life. Let me show you the unseen truth about my quietness. You thought this long silence meant you were completely forgotten. You look around your empty room and assume heaven has closed its doors. But you are terribly mistaken about my divine timing. I need you to understand the architecture of this exact moment, because my silence is not an abandonment of your soul. The lack of noise in your life is actually a fierce protection. I am actively working in the unseen realm right now. You pray for massive financial doors to open quickly. You beg for new relationships to heal your broken heart. And you always wonder why the answer is severely delayed, but it is simply because I am aggressively clearing out your future room. I have seen the toxic people secretly lingering near your path. I heard the whispered conversations of those who pretend to love you. They smile warmly in your face while plotting to take your coming harvest. I cannot let you walk into a massive blessing with spiritual leeches attached to your weary back, so I deliberately stopped everything in your life to protect you. I am currently sweeping the floor of your destiny. I am removing every single person who cannot handle the massive weight of your calling. You cried bitterly when certain friends suddenly walked away from you. You felt rejected when a specific opportunity abruptly fell apart without warning. But that was my heavy hand pulling you away from a hidden trap, because I had to break your heart to save your divine inheritance. The enemy tried to plant false allies deeply in your inner circle. He wanted them there to sabotage your wealth the very moment it finally arrived. So I created this painful season of complete isolation to starve those dark connections, and a toxic person simply cannot survive in the holy silence I placed around you. They eventually left your life because they could not manipulate your quiet spirit anymore. This empty space is not a harsh punishment for your past mistakes. The extreme quietness is simply the loud sound of a construction zone. Heaven is building a massive fortress for your brand new identity. I am securing the walls, so the enemy can never steal your peace again. You are the rightful heir to an incredible bloodline, and the old room had to be completely demolished before the new wealth could enter. Do not rush the rebuilding process just to feel busy again. Do not invite old toxic patterns back into your life simply because you are lonely. Stay firmly planted in this holy waiting room. The people meant for your next chapter are currently being prepared. I am carefully aligning their hearts to perfectly match your new frequency, and you will never have to beg them to stay in your life. When I finally open the door to your arrival season, you will completely understand this painful delay. You will look back at this exact silent period with deep gratitude. You will clearly realize that my quietness was an aggressive act of divine protection. I was holding back the floodgates until your physical vessel was fully sealed. Your new room will only hold authentic love, because I have permanently banished the liars and the thieves from your timeline. Hold that sentence and do not let it slide past you. Breathe in the profound truth of my fierce protection. Let the heavy burden of fixing your own timeline drop to the floor. You do not need to pry the doors open with your own tired hands. Stand perfectly still and watch heaven do the heavy lifting today. because the massive sweeping process is almost entirely finished. The atmosphere around you is already beginning to change. The toxic debris has been successfully removed from your immediate future. The empty space you feel right now is about to be flooded with overwhelming provision. Prepare your weary mind for the sudden and massive shift. Heaven will soon speak a word over your life, and the long, painful silence will shatter completely into a million pieces. You have endured the quiet pain with incredible grace. The spiritual maturity you gained in this empty room is your greatest weapon now. The enemy honestly thought the isolation would completely destroy your fragile faith. Instead, it forged you into an unbreakable warrior of light. You are finally ready to step out of the dark shadows, and the divine stage is perfectly set for your glorious arrival. The intense heat you feel right now is absolutely not random. It is the extreme pressure of the holy threshold. You are standing right on the very edge of a massive breakthrough. The spiritual atmosphere in your room is incredibly thick today, and the sudden spikes of anxiety in your chest are simply the violent friction of two distinct realms colliding. The enemy is absolutely terrified of your current powerful position. They are throwing every single weapon at your weary mind right now. They want to create maximum chaos in your physical space tonight. But they are not attacking you because they think you are weak. They are attacking with extreme desperation because they know you are about to win. Every time you get close to the finish line, the battle gets brutal. You feel an overwhelming urge to just quit everything today. Your finances look completely dead, and your physical energy is totally depleted. But this is exactly what the final threshold always looks like. The darkest hour truly happens right before the massive sun explodes over the horizon. Think about a massive iron door slowly opening. The heavy hinges are completely rusted from years of generational curses. Pushing that heavy door open requires a tremendous amount of spiritual force, and the intense cracking sound you hear in your spirit is that ancient door finally giving way. The generational poverty is breaking off your bloodline forever. Your body shakes because the frequency of your reality is shifting rapidly. Do not mistake this holy vibration for an ordinary anxiety attack. You are literally expanding your spirit to hold a massive new inheritance. Your fragile nervous system is upgrading to handle the incredible weight of the coming wealth. You are rapidly becoming a very powerful vessel. There is a specific financial key the enemy desperately wanted to hide from you. They created all this heavy mental fog just to distract your tired eyes from it. Your massive financial breakthrough is fully authorized by heaven right now. But there is one final, specific strategy you are missing to unlock the heavy vault. I will place it safely in your hands shortly. You are the true cycle breaker of your entire family history. You carry the royal bloodline of a fierce spiritual conqueror. The dark forces honestly thought they could easily crush your gentle spirit in that lonely room. They severely underestimated the massive fire burning deep inside your weary soul. You are a chosen warrior who firmly refuses to stay down in the dirt. I can see the dark entities packing their bags in pure panic right now. They know they have completely lost the legal right to torment your peaceful house. Your steadfast endurance in the dark room literally shattered their heavy iron chains. They are scattering in every direction because the bright light of your arrival season is blinding them. Their dark kingdom is totally ruined. You only have to stand completely still for a little bit longer. Do not make any sudden moves out of pure physical fear. Do not try to force a logical solution when heaven is performing a miraculous rescue. The massive tension in the air is actually the beautiful sound of your impending victory. The heavy pressure is forming a brilliant diamond out of your deep pain. The intense spiritual compression is about to release suddenly and violently. The massive floodgates of heaven are groaning under the incredible weight of your stored blessings. Years of stolen resources are currently being gathered for a massive and immediate return. You will wake up one morning very soon, and the heavy burden will be totally gone. You will breathe pure freedom. I need you to brace your spirit for the massive incoming wave today. Plant your feet firmly on the solid ground of my divine promise. The enemy desperately wants you to look back at the old ruins of your past, but I command you to keep your eyes locked on the wide open door ahead. The heavy threshold is completely conquered, and you are stepping into the light. Stay with me. Do not let the distraction of this world pull your eyes away from what I am revealing. The heavy compression in your spirit is reaching its absolute peak right now. You can feel the intense vibration in the air around you. The long season of painful waiting is finally giving birth to your massive reward. But there is one final layer we must completely remove today. I told you earlier about a specific financial key that the dark forces desperately tried to hide. They threw every single weapon of mental fog at you just to keep you completely blind to this profound truth. They knew that if you ever learned this secret, their heavy chains of poverty would instantly melt away. Right now, before this short message ends, I will walk you all the way to it. But I need you to completely let go of your old survival habits first. You have spent your entire life functioning like a tired orphan who has to beg for every single meal. You pray with a heavy heart, and you bargain with heaven like a desperate petitioner standing at a crowded counter. You promise to work harder and be a better person just so I might notice your struggle. You must stop doing that immediately. A beggar pleads for temporary relief, but an heir walks confidently through the front doors of the estate and simply receives what already belongs to them. The massive inheritance has already been legally deeded to your specific name. Your spiritual bank account in heaven is completely full and waiting for your authorized signature. The enemy is absolutely terrified that you will finally realize who you truly are. Pause briefly right where you are. Resist the urge to let your mind wander into tomorrow's problems. Linger here for the length of 3 slow breaths. This is the exact moment where your heavy identity permanently shifts. The tired caregiver who always bleeds to fix everyone else is officially stepping down today. You are trading your heavy rags of endless grief for a magnificent robe of absolute authority. I am speaking a powerful prophetic word over your fragile mind today. The deep confusion that clouded your vision is evaporating under the bright light of my holy presence. You are not a victim of a cruel world. You are the chosen one who survived the fiercest fire the enemy could possibly create. And you did not just survive to tell a sad story. You survived to completely take over the entire territory. The dark entities thought they broke your spirit when they emptied your physical bank accounts. They laughed when your friends walked away and left you completely isolated in that quiet room. But they made a fatal miscalculation. They accidentally pushed you directly into the holy training ground where champions are forged in absolute silence. They accidentally handed you the ultimate weapon of mass destruction. Your holy silence became a massive weapon that terrified the dark realm. You stopped complaining to humans, and you started holding heaven to its divine promises. That is exactly when the heavy iron doors began to shake on their rusted hinges. The massive spiritual vault containing your family wealth is currently unlocking. I can clearly hear the heavy tumblers falling into perfect place right this very second. You are standing on the holy threshold right now. The heavy air is completely charged with divine electricity. The miracle you cried about every single night is literally staring you in the face. But you cannot walk through this magnificent door carrying the heavy bags of your old victim mindset. You must boldly claim your royal position. I am extending my hand to you in this dark room. The divine transfer of massive wealth and profound peace requires your explicit permission. Heaven does not force blessings upon closed fists. Open your tired hands right now and prepare your weary soul for the grand revelation. The final piece of the puzzle is clicking into place, and the glorious truth about your real identity is about to shatter every single curse in your entire bloodline forever. The time for weeping alone in that dark room is officially over. You have survived the brutal wilderness. The bitter tears you cried are turning into a massive flood of provision, and the heavy chains of generational debt that choked your family for decades are violently breaking right now because heaven has issued a new decree. You are stepping out of the shadows. The isolation is finished. I am handing you the hidden key the enemy desperately feared. The key is not begging harder for a miracle. The key is stepping into your true identity as the rightful heir. A petitioner stands at a counter and constantly bargains for small crumbs. But an heir walks confidently through the front doors of the magnificent estate and simply receives everything that was promised to them from the very beginning. You are the rightful heir of a magnificent kingdom. Your name is firmly written on the heavenly deed. The dark forces tried to convince you that you were a forgotten orphan, but heaven recognizes your beautiful royal bloodline, and the angels are currently moving massive amounts of wealth to back up the authority you carry today. You do not have to fight for scraps anymore. The entire vault is completely wide open. I declare a permanent end to your financial struggle today. The heavy cycle of lack and endless borrowing dies right here in this room, and the immense wealth that was stolen from your ancestors is being rapidly returned to your hands. You will no longer calculate pennies in the dark, because you are about to step into a season of overflow that will completely erase every single debt you owe. You will manage a massive harvest with profound wisdom. The spirit of poverty is permanently evicted from your house. It has absolutely no legal right to touch your bank accounts ever again. You are stepping into a season of radical abundance. Heaven is releasing unexpected resources from places you never even imagined. And the long days of surviving on bare minimums are completely behind you, while a new era of massive prosperity takes root in your family name. The painful season of deep loneliness is also completely broken. You thought the empty room meant you were totally unloved and rejected. But that room was a sacred cocoon protecting your fragile transformation. You are emerging as a fierce spiritual conqueror. You will never walk through a dark valley completely alone ever again, because a mighty fortress of divine protection has been permanently built around your spirit. Stand up tall and square your weary shoulders right now. Take a deep breath and feel the ancient curses falling off your chest. The enemy is completely defeated and they are running away in sheer terror. They cannot stand the blinding light of your new royal identity. You are the cycle breaker who permanently changed history today, and your future generations will never have to experience the bitter poverty that you endured. Your arrival season is officially authorized and fully funded. The profound confusion that plagued your mind is completely gone. You possess the sharp clarity of a seasoned warrior who just won a massive war, and the beautiful peace of heaven is aggressively taking over your entire nervous system while your physical body finally learns how to relax in safety. You are completely victorious today. Do not let a single doubt enter your mind tonight. The miraculous shift is already done in the unseen spiritual realm. The massive provision is rapidly manifesting into your physical reality right this very second. You only need to open your arms and gracefully receive your inheritance. The long and brutal winter is finally over, and the warm sun of your magnificent harvest is currently shining directly upon your beautiful face. You are the chosen one who held the line in the darkness. You protected the seed of faith when everything around you was dying, and because you stayed faithful in the painful silence, your reward is multiplied 1,000 times over. The kingdom is entirely yours. Walk boldly into your new reality today and claim your massive blessing with the absolute confidence of a rightful heir stepping into their glorious estate. Pause exactly where you are right now. Do not rush into the next thought. Let the massive intensity of that revelation settle deeply into your bones. The heavy spiritual compression has finally released. You carried incredible energy in this message today. And now heaven requires your body to completely let go of the armor, because the fierce battle you fought is totally finished. I need you to physically unclench your tight jaw right now. Drop those heavy shoulders away from your tired ears. Take one very long and slow breath in. Hold it for just a second, and let it out with a deep exhale. Breathe out the lingering anxiety. Feel the heavy tension melting away from your neck. You do not need to brace yourself for bad news anymore, because the dark entities are permanently evicted. The violent storm outside your door is completely over. The massive spiritual battle has already been won in the unseen realm. You are standing in the quiet aftermath of a beautiful victory. Look around your quiet room once again today. The walls are no longer closing in on you. The silence is no longer a heavy burden of isolation, but it is the sweet sound of total safety covering your entire life. Put down the heavy pen and close the ledger today. You do not have to figure out the massive financial puzzle tonight. You do not have to perfectly plan your next 5 steps to survive. Heaven already calculated the exact provision you need for tomorrow, and the wealth is currently traveling toward your hands. Your only job right now is to exist in this absolute peace. Let your weary heart beat calmly in your chest. The tired caregiver is finally allowed to rest deeply today. You do not have to hold the entire world together anymore, because the beautiful universe is fully capable of holding you instead. Feel the solid chair or the bed physically supporting your tired body right now. You are completely held, you are fiercely protected, and you are deeply cherished beyond human comprehension. Let this profound cathartic peace wash over your weary mind like a gentle river. It is washing away every single trace of toxic guilt and painful shame. The dark fog of confusion is completely gone from your thoughts. You have absolute clarity and a pure heart. The enemy has lost all access to your nervous system, and your physical vessel is completely sealed by a massive shield of divine authority. This deep relaxation is your ultimate weapon of warfare. The dark forces expect you to constantly panic and scramble in fear, but your supreme stillness completely destroys their crumbling dark kingdom today. You are resting confidently as the rightful heir to a magnificent estate. You simply trust that the heavy vault is already open. You calmly wait for the massive harvest to touch your physical hands. Do not let anyone rush you out of this sacred state of mind. Protect this beautiful quietness with your entire soul. If an anxious thought tries to knock on your door tonight, firmly tell it to leave, because you have a massive holy boundary placed around your peaceful mind. The long season of terrifying survival mode is officially finished. You are crossing over into a season of effortless grace. Keep your breathing very slow and steady. Enjoy the magnificent feeling of a totally light heart. The massive boulders have been rolled away from your path. The heavy debt is fully handled in the spiritual realm, and the toxic people who drained you are permanently removed from your future. You are stepping cleanly into the light. You are perfectly ready to seal this divine covenant and claim your brand new life. The beautiful light of heaven is filling every dark corner of your room right now. You can almost feel the warm sunshine resting gently on your tired face. The deep ache in your physical bones is replaced by a profound holy strength, while the warm light completely restores your weary soul. You survived the bitter winter and you did not break. Now you get to enjoy the glorious spring. The magnificent arrival is finally here. You came into this exact moment feeling like a broken beggar. You were absolutely terrified that my silence meant a harsh punishment, but now the thick fog has completely lifted from your weary mind. You finally know the magnificent truth about your royal bloodline. You are the rightful heir, and the massive vault is officially open today. The heavy anxiety that gripped your chest earlier has been completely washed away by my profound peace. If this sacred sanctuary has bound your deep wounds today, I invite you to make a physical decree. You are no longer acting out of pure desperation and fear. You are moving with the absolute confidence of a wealthy cycle breaker. Take a beautiful moment right now to deeply honor this holy altar. Kindly plant a financial seed through the Super Thanks button below. This is your physical signature, proving you trust the coming harvest. When you give from a place of deep gratitude, you activate the mathematics of heaven. Your small seed instantly multiplies in the unseen spiritual realm. It is not a transaction to buy a miracle, but it is a powerful declaration that you are no longer a slave to endless poverty. You are a generous conqueror. You fully expect massive provision tomorrow. Step into your authority and plant your seed without any hesitation today. Now I need you to seal this powerful covenant with a specific numeric code. The enemy desperately hates when you make your faith visible to the physical world. Go down to the comments right now and type 777. Write those exact numbers as your signed acknowledgement of this divine transfer. Let that simple action be the very first stroke of a brand new signature signed by a true heir. Your massive inheritance is firmly secured forever. The heavy season of dark isolation is permanently breaking off you right now, but heaven always works through beautiful human connection. There is someone in your phone contacts right this very second who is staring at their screen. They are terrified of tomorrow, and they are crying silently just like you were. Use your beautiful hands to be their sudden rescue tonight. When you share this exact video with them, you set the mighty law of multiplication in motion. Do not let them suffer alone in the dark for another long night. Pass this prophetic message on to them right now. Share this divine word and completely save a precious soul tonight. When you freely give this peace away to others, heaven instantly multiplies your own personal harvest 100 times over. You become a brilliant lighthouse, pushing back the heavy darkness, and the enemy absolutely panics when chosen ones begin to unite. I also need you to fiercely protect your future spiritual food today. The dark forces will constantly try to block this channel from your daily feed. They want you to completely forget this profound peace by tomorrow morning. Gently press the subscribe button right now to build a permanent wall. Subscribe so tomorrow's urgent word reaches you before the old habits of the enemy can return. This is your daily armor against their toxic illusions. You have done incredibly well today by simply staying in this quiet room. You faced the terrifying shadows, and you boldly chose to believe the light instead. The holy angels have successfully cleared the heavy debris from your immediate path. You can finally rest your tired head tonight because the brutal spiritual war is completely over. Your massive financial breakthrough is already navigating toward your specific physical address. You are fully redeemed today. Keep your beautiful heart totally open to unexpected miracles this wonderful week. The glorious arrival season will absolutely surprise you with its incredible speed. Do not look backward at the broken pieces of your painful past. Keep your eyes firmly fixed on the massive door swinging wide open in front of you. I am walking right beside you while you cross this magnificent threshold into wealth. Go in absolute peace and thoroughly enjoy the beautiful harvest of your royal inheritance.